Hi everybody, it's Kerrie here at the North East Autism Society, and I'm joined again this week by Tony and Danny from the Life Science Centre. And this week we've got a wintry challenge for you. So could you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, I've noticed the weather has started to get a bit chillier and there's been some frosty weather. And so I thought I'd come up with a challenge that is to do with ice. So to join in, you'll need a piece of string and an ice cube. Oh, this feels really cold. Put it in the tray. Great, so Danny's going to take up the challenge. Danny, your challenge is to try and pick up the ice cube just using the string.
Okay, let's see.
I don't think you can do that, Danny.
What?
That's impossible, Tony.
Every time I nearly pick it up, it falls off again because it's so slippy.
It is very slippy, isn't it? It's very tricky to do. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit easier. We can use something that will help us do this trick, and that is some salt. So I've got some salt here and a spatula, but you could use a little teaspoon. And what I'm going to do is put my ice cube down in my tray. You could use a plate as well. Put the string across the top and then add a little sprinkle of salt. So not too much, just over the top there. And then I'm going to leave it for about 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, so then you can pick up your ice cube by just lifting the string. Way!
Hey,
well done, Danny.
Wow, that's really clever. So, Tony, how does that stick to the ice cube?
Well, the salt water doesn't make it sticky, but the salt changes the freezing point of the water, of the ice. So do you know what temperature water normally turns to ice? The freezing temperature.
It's 0 degrees Celsius, isn't it?
Yeah, so if I've got some more ice in this beaker here, crushed ice, and a thermometer, and if I just pack this in here, you can see the temperature on the thermometer.
0 point something. It's definitely 0.
Yeah, so it's just about getting there. I think my hand might be warming the beaker a little bit, but you can see it's 0 degrees Celsius. Now, when we add salt, we change that freezing point. So I'll show you here. I'm going to put my ice at 0 degrees Celsius into this funnel and put my thermometer back in. And I'm going to add a few teaspoons of salt to see how the temperature changes.
That's -8 degrees Celsius. That's very cold.
So what this means for our ice cube is that the salt melted the top layer of the ice and turned it to water. The string was in that ice, and then the ice then cooled the water that was formed in that little puddle and froze it again, but this time with the string trapped inside it. So we were able to lift it up. So now you know this about the ice and about salt. Can you ever think about why we put salt on the roads in winter?
I suppose if salt is lowering the freezing point, it means that the ice on the road will melt, and so it's less slippy for all the cars, and so it's safer.
Yeah, brilliant. So lowering the freezing point means that it makes it safer to drive around. It will just be a wet road rather than an icy road, which would be more dangerous.
It's really interesting, Tony, because you see lots of gritters on the road, don't you, when it's icy, putting the salt down on the road, and I never knew why they did that, but now I know. So that was another really good experiment, and I think it'd be really it'd be good to challenge our young people and see if they can pick an ice cube up with a piece of string based on what you've just told them to do.
And maybe you could try and set yourselves an even bigger challenge. Once you've picked up one ice cube, put a few ice cubes in a row and get a really big piece of string and see how many you could pick up. You could have a whole row of ice cubes.
That is a really good idea. So that's your challenge. See, first of all, if you can pick one up with the string, but then see how many you can get onto the string. That's a really good challenge. Send us your photographs and your videos. So thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.